Barson and why you should skip it. Part 2.
We didn't plan for a part 2. It just kind of happened.
And then more new stuff came out, and we're like, okay, we gotta make this a part 2.
Yeah, it's gonna be great. Who knows what happened?
Uh,
So,
if you're
a lot.
new, this is the Truth Runs Deep. I'm Kalli.
And I'm Terryn.
We talk about all things SVU, organized crime, and fan fiction writing. So this is, as we said, this is part 2. So if you haven't watched part 1 yet, go do that. But can we start off with the fact that I predicted that Betty Buckley would be in this episode before they even released the pictures?
Yes, we can discuss that for sure. Sometimes we just get really good intuition about things.
It's gonna be my
and that was it.
It's my claim to fame right now.
You did, like, you predicted that, and I predicted. Oh, I was predicted it was gonna be that Raul was gonna come back for this episode. Like I just feel it in my bones.
So you predicted that Raul was coming, and I predicted that Betty Buckley was coming. So go.
Yes, yeah, we have. We're so excited to talk about this. So many things that have happened in the past 3 days.
Oh my
because
God.
we recorded the first part of this episode throughout the week, like Wednesday, and the news came out Thursday, or was it Friday? The news came out Friday because we were gonna finish recording.
But we recorded like Friday night, Thursday.
We did,
Thursday night,
and then we planned to. We were gonna be like, okay, we'll finish recording later. Is what happened, and then the news came out. They were like, well. And then
more
a lot
stuff.
of news came out. So much stuff came out because the episode was over like an hour, and we're like, this episode's gonna be like forever long if we just leave it as it, like keep adding to it. So we were like, we'll hold it.
Yeah. So
here we are, part 2.
Yeah.
If anything happens again, it'll be part 3.
Yeah. So most of the news is basically like pictures.
Yeah. I wish you could show you pictures, but
I wish. Yeah. So
we'll get that figured out eventually.
Yeah. So the first picture we got was Betty Buckley. For those who don't know who she is, Betty Buckley plays Lorraine Maxwell. So like the head of Carisi's boss, basically. So she posted a picture on Instagram of her, Mariska, and Raul. And that is where the freaking out started.
It did. I was sitting on my bed. It was late Friday. Well, not late Friday, but like 5, 6, or 7. It wasn't horribly late, but
how I saw it. But I was sitting on my couch, and my family was next to me, so I had to like hold in my squeal. Yeah. But I was very much like freaking out.
Did I send it to you, or did you send it to me, or did somebody else send it to?
I think I sent it to you.
Oh yeah, I think I was doing something. I got distracted or something. I think I was doing homework, and you sent that, and I was like, oh.
I sent it to you, and then I put in all caps. I told you.
You did. You did, man. That was such exciting. We were like, yes, it's very. So we'll come back to our kind of theory about the episode. We'll come back to that, I guess. We'll talk about the pictures first, then we'll come back to our.
Okay, so that was the first picture, and then Betty posted like a bunch of hers with a bunch of pictures of her and Mariska that were just, adorable and amazing.
Yes.
And then she posted a one with Peter, which I love it. And the caption was hilarious. The caption was hilarious.
He is a dreamboat.
She called Peter Scandino a dreamboat. Ma'am, you are correct. You are very much correct.
She's right. Just saying.
And then the next picture, which is where my theory might possibly come into play, also freaking out, was Betty and Raul in the courthouse. Betty was in a chair. Raul was in sitting on a table because
he always sits on the table. So.
Of course he was. And it said, I have to see if I can find the picture now because the caption was just so good. One moment.
Yep. So we got really excited about these pictures. Like made our days. So we were like, oh, we need to make another episode. Because we didn't finish all the Barson stuff. We didn't finish our list. We also want to talk about all this news. So this will be really exciting to talk today about all the Barson things and what we think is coming soon. Because I don't think we got that far in our last episode. Because
probably not.
I don't remember. But
Okay. So the picture in the courtroom, and she put the caption with the great role Sparta telling theater stories between scenes on set. So fun. And hello.
Okay, we're good.
Okay. So yes, so the picture is iconic. But that's not why I was freaking out the most. Okay, it was, but so the fact that they're in a courtroom kind of makes me think my theory might be correct, that they're going to go against each other in court, which is going to be freaking amazing acting wise. This finale is going to be intense if that is the case. It'll be intense, and I'll be happy if they even share just one scene together, but
Yeah, definitely.
this is like sent me on such a spiral. If you haven't got, if acting side aside, if you haven't listened to Roll or Betty sing, go do that now. Like, I won't hate if you pause this and go do that now. Go do it. Go.
Yeah, definitely could do that.
I sent you and like a bunch of our friends like clips the other day, and everyone was like, "Oh my god, she's amazing." And I was like, "Yep." I need it to be May 19th because this is going to be.
Oh, that's checking my
amazing.
countdown. As this very moment, we have 24 days, 23 hours, and 35 minutes.
Okay, that's not bad. It's not.
As of today, the current day you're recording this. So, I don't feel like it's horribly long, but it seems like forever.
Okay, is that all the new news? New news and pictures.
Yeah, it's gonna be exciting. It just seems like it's gonna take forever though, but
It
not really.
is.
But the good thing about this is that we have episodes every week though,
And yeah,
leading
so
up
then
to
we
it.
have
So
a whole bunch of
there's no
exciting,
hiatus, no hiatus. So we'll have episodes
hooray!
coming.
A bunch of exciting episodes coming up with like guest stars up the.
Yes,
so many guest stars. And if they just keep like supplying us with pictures, then I'm going to be okay.
Yeah, definitely. Because remember, everyone like, I think Warren shared that picture of Raul, the one that everyone reposts. That one that no, not that one. I'm talking about one for the 23-9 that everyone like died over.
That yeah, but
the monitor shot, man.
Forgot to talk about this.
But we did talk about the new one, but
the new one.
The new one.
So,
for those we gotta talk about that, okay?
Don't know. The name of the bar where most of the time the cast goes after the squad goes after cases and stuff is called Forlini. It's basically Olivia and Raphael's spot. Yes. So it is a place in real life, and that place closed down.
Rest in peace. But
Warren like posted on Twitter a picture of Roll and Mariska filming the scene in there one last time.
Yes, well, I'm looking at it. I have to pull up on my phone. Not like you guys can see anything we're seeing because you can't. But I
am just glad that I've said before, like, no, the last time they ever were in there was when they were fighting, and they weren't even at the bar. But
no,
then Warren, thank God, Warren posted these pictures because they're at the bar. And I mean, I know like the thing looked like sad, like the pictures, if you've seen them, they kind of look sad, but like, please, at least the talking. We need something.
Yeah, it's like they have to bring up we do. Because I'm pretty sure, you know, that the elephant in the room has to be addressed.
Oh, they have to. It has to.
Yeah, like it's a must. We cannot move any further in their story. They're talking about the elephant in the room. They also, the question is, when does that scene happen in the episode?
Oh yeah, when does like watch it be like the last scene and we like they make up? No, wishful thinking. Last scene, they make up, they kiss. Next episode, but you know.
Yes, I'd cry. Hey, that'd be a fun episode to record. If that's
the last episode, last season finale, we got Releasey kiss, and nobody thought that was coming. So
yeah, that was wild, but it was good. Well, if
So
we get Barson kiss
you
on,
never know. Barson kiss, if that ever happens,
we'll
you
just.
can.
Well, I was gonna say we just die and then that podcast will be over, so we won't actually die.
Yeah.
So
No.
then you'll get more fan fiction from us.
Yeah, I
I
remember
told you weren't allowed to die.
yeah, I sent you a tweet that said, but Betty Buckley retweeted my tweet about her and Roll being icons, and I said I could die happy, and you said no, because who's gonna write and spiral with me up to
exactly. Who else thinks?
that?
Who else would agree to whatever the monstrosity I've written? And then I've added more. I came up with that idea this morning and then started to write again.
And it was amazing.
It may not be as painful as I think it is, but it might
gonna read it in a while, but I was in my car after work and I was like screaming, and then I drove home.
Yeah, I just like left it there. I was like, here you go, because I had it on my phone notes, and I was like, this on a Google Docs to you.
Yeah, it was amazing.
Okay.
All right. Now I think that's all the news.
I think we've covered everything we were supposed to cover in this part of the podcast. This only been like the first. Oh, never mind. We had a lot of like recording errors going on. I don't know what's happening, but okay.
We'll have to organize it later. Anyway,
we'll fix that stuff later. Okay, so the last thing I think we remember we were talking about when it comes to Barson and throughout the show was we were talking about it's Hold On, Rafa. I don't know if it's in the last episode or not. It might be in the last episode. It may not be. I cannot remember. I did not mark anything.
We did it. I think we did it.
I think we did kind of talk about Hold On, Rafa a little bit. Yeah, because
that scene is amazing for like multiple reasons.
It is. It's one of my favorites.
We get the nickname.
The face he makes though is just precious. He's just like, I have a nickname.
It's like a half smile, half smirk. He's like, are you talking to me? But also seems like really happy about it.
It does. Yes, I love that scene. It's one of my favorites. Okay, so the next thing, and I'm going in sequential order, is the episode Gone Baby Gone. Somebody was retweeting the hug. Somebody posted the gift of the hug. So this morning I had to watch the episode. Like it was a requirement. So I did watch this episode this morning. So
yeah, yes, they've hugged.
They do.
To be quite no, never mind. Ignore me. I just remembered something else. Anyway,
okay.
Yes. So they hugged.
They do. They do. It's the first time they're like they touch you, like they have like a touch each other kind of, and it was super close to each other. They never touch each other.
And it wasn't just like a I don't know, like short hug. Like
no, it was an embrace.
They were holding on to each other for like dear life. And don't get me wrong, it was an emotional moment and I'm happy, but I need like a happy hug.
I do too. They robbed us from that. I mean, they did steal it from us. We were robbed, but you know,
they did. But it shows just how much Raphael truly cares for her.
Mm-hmm.
There's like a conversation going on Twitter of like whether or not him stuttering and like trying to offer coffee and not like knowing what to do, whether or not it was in character or out of character for him. And I could see like both sides of it.
Yeah.
But honestly, I think it was in character.
I do too.
Because he loves, he does. He loves her. He cares so much about her. This was a situation neither of them ever thought they were going to be in. Mm-hmm. He didn't know what to do. He wanted to be there for her in any possible way they could. And in situations before, they've, talked, gotten coffee. That's how they've communicated. He tried doing it again. And then when it didn't work, he immediately, stepped out of his comfort zone and went to wrap her into a hug.
Yeah, definitely. I think they had never been that close before, like you were saying. So that, moment, you can in that very moment, he knew that that's what she needed. And I think that's key in their friendship and relationship, that, he knew what she needed. Him asking for asking her about coffee. I mean, I think it's something that they both often having coffee together, and I think it's something that it seems strange, but it makes sense for them. And if that didn't work, he knew what she needed in that moment, and that was somebody to ground her and be like, it's going to be okay. and we're going to find
It's
Noah.
kind of has to do with this, but also another point. Barbara will continuously ask her "Are you okay?" Check in with her to make sure that she's okay.
Multiple times in that episode.
In this episode,
it's like 2 more times, I think. Well, besides the ending scene, but 2 more times before it.
Did he go with her when they went to go get Noah?
No.
I
wish, but no.
No, sorry, that's just thick things.
Wishful thinking.
Yeah, they should have. Anyway.
They should
have. They get Noah back, and, we get the scene where he opens the door, and, looking at gifs and everything, he, stops and he looks at her, almost like, I can't believe this woman is real.
And it's, pure admiration.
Oh my,
it's the heart eyes and everything.
It is admiration. It is everything. You are the most amazing, beautiful woman ever type look. And then, of course, we get the, I came to talk to my friend about whatever she wants to talk about. Is she going to let me in?
Mm-hmm.
He goes in, and this is how you know, a line is iconic, because every time I think of this line, I hear it in Ryan's voice.
Hi there, Uncle Rafa.
Yeah.
Yes.
Hi, Uncle Rafa.
I love that line. And it makes me so happy. Gives me serotonin.
Ryan is adorable. I could talk about Ryan Bogle just about all day. Anyway, so we get the hi, Uncle Rafa. We saw a mommy deer and a baby deer, and and they went in front of us, and Raphael was like, in front of you, that's jaywalking.
That's jaywalking.
And then something along the lines of, you're silly. A deer in New York, you're silly. And it was just sweet little Uncle Rafa Noah moment.
We needed more.
And then they all play together robots with the family. And Jesse is there, which is adorable because there's this behind the scenes picture of Raoul with either Charlotte or Vivian, and it's adorable. Anyway, Jessica's little family, and Liv is looking at all of them like, this is my family.
Yes, it's precious.
So lucky to have all of them. It's amazing.
It is.
Hold on. What comes up? What's next?
Let me check there's a couple things I kind of was check real quick on.
All right.
Because it's a lot, because that's 1910, I think. And there's a couple little blips in between the next 3. We're going to talk about the Forbidden episode. We're going to talk about that.
No, we're not going to.
We don't talk about that. Oh, there's something we did talk about in that, but not really. Okay. Pathological. Pathological is next. And that's the one. So the one he comes over. And I did put this in the notes. Where he comes over. He comes over twice in the episode. One is in the morning time, and then another time at the evening.
I forgot about the first one.
Yeah, there's 2 times in that episode. He comes in the morning too.
Is that the one with the elephant line?
Yes, it is.
Yeah. Okay. So yes. Okay. See, I'm remembering things. So he walks in, and he sees Eddie the elephant, Noah's toy, Eddie the elephant, and surrounded by blocks.
He gave it to him. It's
our headcanon that Noah got it from him, and we're going to go with that until says otherwise. Yeah, so he sees Eddie surrounded by blocks, and he's like, what's he in for? Olivia says, stealing all the ice cream. And Raphael says, never trusted that elephant. And, just a little moment, them talking, everything.
I never trusted the elephant.
But the one at the end of the episode is the key one.
Yes, because because there's a bunch of things about this scene that's very particular. One is that he's very comfortable when he's sitting down.
He didn't have a jacket on. We literally just see him in a shirt and suspenders.
Yes.
Casual, but still professional, Raphael.
Yes. And then she has the scotch for him. She has the scotch for him.
Scotch.
Yeah. It's so sweet. I love that scene.
Meaning probably that she's been over there before. at least enough times that she would go out and buy scotch. Because she doesn't drink scotch. She drinks red wine.
Yes.
She had it for him.
Mm-hmm. And that means so much to me. Like, oh, she had it for him, and it makes me so happy. Man. The conversation didn't even matter what they had, but it's just the significance of that in that very moment.
I don't remember what the conversation is, but
it doesn't. I mean, I think he wasn't sure if he wanted to prosecute.
Yeah, there you go.
That girl. Oh no, that's not it. That's the same episode. Never mind. Or is it?
Anyway, they were talking.
Oh yes, it
and
is.
We're going to consider it a tiny date.
Yeah, it is. It's very cute, and
we're considering it a small date.
Yes.
Literally, if you're at it was late at night, they were drinking scotch and he didn't have his jacket on. We're calling it a date.
Yes. It is a date and no one can tell me otherwise. The next thing is in flight risk. The episode Flight Risk. You're a feminist icon, Raphael. He says, I try my best. I think there's me a nice thick steak.
We never got that. They've like referenced the steak, but we never got it. Steak dinner, we never got it.
Sad.
But the fact that he's like so humble about being called a feminist icon, but also the fact that Olivia sees the risks and lengths he will go to fight for women enough to call him that.
Yes, definitely.
It is like, so damn true that he is. And he's like, he's like humble. He's like, he doesn't know if he deserves the title. He absolutely does.
Mm.
He certainly does.
Olivia needs to take that man for his steak dinner. Please.
Yes, he does.
Barson needs to be canon, and then they go on their first real date and get this steak dinner. This is what I believe.
Yes, they absolutely need to. He has asked her to dinner so many times.
Oh, we talked about that too. That whole point that he's asked her out. I think I counted it one time. He's asked her to dinner or drinks at least, I think, 6 times. From
there was one time where she's like, I can't, and he's like, responsibilities. I'm like,
yes. And there's the other time. Yeah, and then there's the other time when they go to Forlini's before. I think it's episode before Gone Baby Gone or near it, and he's like, "You're here," and he's like motherhood duties, and then she's like, "No, was with Sheila."
So we're here now. Yeah. So there's been multiple times where Raphael has like asked her, and she said no. And don't get me wrong, it probably breaks the guy's heart, but
it does. He keeps asking.
He asks, and he respects the fact that she said no.
Mm-hmm.
And their relationship doesn't change because of it. They're still able to, go do work the next day. He figures I'll try again. And he always does it at like a moment where he like wants to like comfort her or give her a break.
Yeah,
she doesn't believe she needs to take a break. She has to always keep moving. And I love the one where like she's like, I need to go see my son.
Yeah, that is.
And he's like, go see
motherly love. Like that's motherly love at the end.
Yeah, there you go. Because it was on last night. That's the way I remembered it. And he's not like, no, you can go see Noah some other time. He's like, okay, go see your son. Rain check. Like, this man respects her so damn much.
Yes. But
also wants to take her out for a date and treat her like the queen that she is.
Yes, definitely. He doesn't overstep. Like he knows not to overstep. I think you're saying the same thing. If I can stop stuttering. But we're saying the same here on like he knows not to overstep. And he has that respect for her. Mm-hmm. And it's such a beautiful, beautiful thing. Like, and it grew over the time period that you can see from season 14 to season 19. We don't talk about 13, okay? We don't talk about 19, 30. We don't talk about that. But we have to talk about something in that. It was deleted, but not really. So we need to talk about this.
Technically we could talk about 2 things in that.
Two things we talked about.
The first happy one first.
Yeah.
The happy one.
Okay, so the deleted scene is this what you're talking about?
They were on a date. Like,
they did.
We're gonna call it a date because they were at a different table. They weren't at the bar. They were at a separate table.
Yes.
And both of them ordered red wine.
Yes, I think that's such a beautiful
Raphael
thing.
ordered red wine. Yeah,
Yes,
Raphael ordered red wine because Olivia drinks red wine, and
it makes me happy.
they were on a date.
Too bad they do. I mean,
It
yes,
makes
they were
me
on a
so
date. I don't
happy.
care. They went on a date. If you don't, no one can
Don't
argue with
care
them.
if it was deleted. We don't care if anyone says otherwise. It was a date. And then it gets interrupted.
It does.
And they're both like mad about it.
And they were enjoying themselves. They were gonna have, but no,
And
they
they
didn't
were
know what was
both
gonna
like,
happen.
why are you interrupting us?
Yes, man.
I mean, it was like an important interaction, kind of, but still, why are you interrupting us?
At this very moment, they were on a date. They were gonna keep calling it a date. No one's gonna argue with us about this. It is a date.
And then,
This is the hill I will die upon.
of course, and then in that episode,
Oof.
that wasn't deleted.
Wish the whole thing was deleted.
You opened my heart.
But you have to read the whole. Hold on, I have it.
Scene of like. Did you write the whole thing down?
I have it on a note somewhere in my phone because I used it for stuff. Not this
Okay.
one.
While you're looking at it,
I found it.
know what.
Okay.
Okay. Then I'll say my other thing after.
Okay. You started to weasel your way into my world, and the black and white became different shades of gray. Before I knew it, they were blues and greens and yellows and reds. I'm you now, Liv. You opened my heart, and I thank you for it. And then she says something. I forgot what she said. And he said, I've got to move on now.
No, wait, you forgot one. You forgot a line.
I left a line out. I know I did.
I'm you now.
I'm you now, Liv.
I'm you now, Liv. You opened my heart, and I thank you for it.
Oh man!
And you can like see that he's trying to say something else, and it says I got to move on. Yeah. Then we get a forehead kiss.
Yes, that is the most.
And then he leaves.
Yes, oh my, that's pain.
Forehead kiss, then leave.
Pain.
I sobbed for
suffering.
Like an hour.
I don't remember. I think I went into like a 3-day depression where I didn't talk to anybody. I was just like, my mom was like, "What is wrong with you?" And I was like, "Listen," because we'd been watching it together, but I got ahead of her because I couldn't stop. And then I was like, oh. It was a sad day. Yeah, and then I don't think I have anything else after that. But
we're kind of backtracking in episodes, and I don't remember what the episode was called, but I know it was season 19. It's like the episode where like the Republican or like conservative woman.
That's the one right before it. It's InfoWars.
Thank you, InfoWars. So like they're in her office. In Raphael's office.
I know what you mean.
And then as she leaves, she like touches his shoulders or something, and the camera cuts to Liv, and she's like
I think she tells him he needs to calm down or something because Raphael's like, right, your case is not
going. And Liv was not happy that somebody else was touching Raphael.
Don't touch her man. That's her man.
Somebody else was touching him.
She was not okay.
I will fully. I accept jealous Liv in that situation.
I do. Man.
We've gotten jealous Raphael before.
Man, we didn't talk about that. Oh, we talked about that episode. Man.
Oh goodness, like literally, and the fact that I don't know, we're getting like all over the place. All right, so jealous Olivia, aside, jealous Raphael. I believe the episode was Manhattan Transfer.
Yeah.
Okay.
But she didn't say she was dating Tucker.
Raphael is the one who found out.
Because
he's like, I'm telling you, there's like a captain of IEB being investigated, and you don't tell me that the two of you are sleeping together. And it is like, Liv says something else, and she's like, Raphael says, you and I are done talking.
Yeah.
You know,
so, pain.
But the behind the scenes thing from that episode is Warren has specifically said that Roel like played it as jealousy.
Yes.
Hello.
Yes, you know him.
Like,
Raphael
come on, it came from the executive producer himself.
Yes, we love that.
And it's not the first time that Raphael's like found out that, you know, Liv was sleeping with somebody and was a little jealous. The episode where he found out she was with Cassidy.
Oh yeah, earlier
And
on.
here she's like telling him about like this mark that he's got on his thigh or whatever, and Raphael is like tense or whatever because
Yeah.
he's finding out somebody else is sleeping with. Like,
Yeah.
but this is the difference between that jealousy and the other guy I'm not going to mention right now because this is a Barson episode.
We already talked about. No, we didn't. We talked to him in the first episode because we do have to talk about him a little bit. When we talk about
at least never went anywhere else. It was like one moment of jealousy, move on.
Yes, we do have to talk about that though because it's something to do with toxic masculinity. But we'll get there in a second.
Okay.
I think that's weird. Everything on the list I had of things. Oh, well, last episode we talked about.
Did we talk about the video call?
No. There's one more thing I had to say also, but I forgot what it was. But also that we're gonna talk about the video call. That is the next thing. I forgot to put that on.
Redemption in her corner. The first time we see Raphael
again
since he left.
Yep.
Yeah, it's the first time we ever saw Rule since he left. And we find out Barbara's in Iowa doing like, I don't know, combating political fraud or whatever. And it's funny because they said they filmed this episode in like December and then it happened in real life. So
we sure did.
Anyway,
SB predicts the future or is the future.
Yeah. Anyway, they are talking. He extends his condolences because of Tucker, who had just killed himself previously. So yeah, the jealousy didn't last. He was able to extend his condolences. Then, like, they're ending the call, and Raphael's like, wait, before you go, happy birthday. And Olivia's like looking at him and like tilts her head and smiles. And he's like, I wanted to be the first. He wanted to be the first. She's like, no, she's like, you're early. And then he says, I wanted to be the first. Send my regards to Noah and the squad.
Yes.
And I think when Olivia leaves, this is a thing to keep in mind, I guess, for his upcoming episode. Amanda asked like how he's doing. Meaning, yes, they've all somehow kept in touch, or at least try to keep tabs on each other.
Yeah,
because I love saying this in fics, but I mean it. Once a part of SVU, always a part of SVU somehow. At least like the season.
If you want to be anyway.
Family. Season 14 family and on.
Yes.
Like Amaro, Nick, Garland, all, came back at some point. Okay, yeah. Happy birthday video call that satisfied all of us for about months on end.
It did. Actually, I didn't see it till like weekdays later because I was working at the time. And
it
so,
also happened to him.
We
also got like a behind the scenes photo of Mariska and Rule.
Yes,
like,
that's
oh my
such gosh. A cute photo. Yes, I was so sad. I was at work. I was like driving from work. I wasn't driving, but I was going home from work, and I missed it, so I saw it later.
Before I forget, we have to talk about the 2 tweets that like they sent each other on Roll of last episode.
Oh like, yes.
Mariska's was like,
I think she says Benson loves Barbara.
Benson loves Barbara always. Always. So ALWAYS and then ALL space WAYS.
Yes.
And then Rules is like, my live. Like, come on, my live.
Yes. My heart's gonna burst. I'm debating if I want to get that one.
And like something along the lines of how, and Rule has said this multiple times, his SVU experience wouldn't be what it was if him without the chemistry that he had with Mariska.
Definitely.
Which is very, very evident on screen. It's probably another big reason why we love Barson so much, because of the offset friendship and chemistry that Mariska and Rule have. It's something actors wish to have, and when you have it, you know it.
Yeah, definitely. They have a really special bond. Yeah, I'm debating if my college is doing like bacon grilled cheese at 9 p.m. I'm debating, should I go run in that line and go get this bacon grilled cheese? Should I go get this bacon grilled cheese?
Bacon.
It's bacon grilled cheese. It opens at 9. And if last time they did this, the line was already ready at 9 o'clock. So I'm gonna run out there and go get that bacon grilled cheese in the middle of the night. It's like 9 p.m.
You gotta think about it.
I'm gonna go get that bacon grilled cheese. We're leaving this in the podcast too because it's hilarious. That I really want to go get this bacon grilled cheese.
This is our rambling. We talk about.
Yes, I'm going to get this bacon grilled cheese.
I'm gonna So if we're talking about food, so I'm Greek Orthodox, which means my Easter is this week, which means I have candy candy and everything. It's why whenever I kept texting you, I was at church. That's why.
Yeah, candy. We both of us eat sugar and then go crazy. Do not know what happens to our brains, but wild things happen. Ugh. So I'm gonna go get the bacon grilled cheese, which means I'm gonna go get in that line that's outside, and I can't see the line from where I am from my window. So I'm actually have to go out there and find out. So I will update you on how long this takes for me to get this bacon grilled cheese. So I will be back, and we'll keep recording when I come back.
Hello.
Okay, we're back. I ate the bacon grilled cheese. And I had soda. I like living on the edge.
How was it?
It was delicious. I like living on the edge. I also it was good. It's great. I forgot also I'm kind of lactose intolerant, so I may regret it later. But oh well. I like living on the edge. I was like, I was eating that bacon grilled cheese and I was like, hold on a second. This was a terrible idea. Oh well.
It sounds amazing. My college had like a food truck where
you do too.
Where we could get like a bacon grilled cheese or like a barbecue grilled cheese with like a meal, like our meal plan, a meal swipe.
Yeah, we did it too. Yeah.
And it would come with like a drink and chips, and I would get it like all the time. It was greasy.
It was.
But it was.
It was. It was like there's so much butter on my hands. It was delicious. Yeah. So if I did indeed have the bacon grilled cheese at 9 p.m. and I drank soda, oh boy, this will be fun. So I don't have class. I don't have anything to do tomorrow. So if I don't sleep, oh well. Back to the podcast. Oh, you have to go to work.
Unfortunately, I'm back to reality tomorrow. So.
We'd only wish that our weeks off were the same, but they weren't. Sad.
Yeah, because you live in the South and you're in college, so it's different.
Yeah. Once I'm done, I won't go back to school until August after this week.
Hey, well, yeah, in the summer, so like June-ish, we'll be on the same schedule.
Yeah. Sad. Anyway, back to the podcast because we are rambling. We're keeping them in too because it's funny. We were moving on too.
Where were we? I don't even remember.
Bring everything we could think, every Barson moment we could possibly think of.
Did we talk about how he held Noah?
No. I think we kind of did, but it's in the last episode, and it may or may not have been cut off. But we'll talk about it again.
Okay. Well, I'll tell you what again. Alright, yeah, so December solstice is the first time we're like... Is it like the first time he meets Noah? Kind of?
It technically is. There's no recollection of it.
Technically, yes. Is it also the episode where he's like, what is this toy box decorative? And she's like, oh, you brought the jokes.
Yes, that's all the same scene.
Yep.
And then he goes, and then she's like, can you hold him?
And he holds out the kid like he's a bomb, and he's looking at him like this look on his face like, ew.
He's like, please don't throw up on me, little baby. Little baby. It's the cutest scene though. Like, looking back on it, it's actually hilarious because you know how close they are. Like Raphael and Noah must be very close, and it's hilarious.
And it's hilarious to me because Roll is amazing with kids.
Yes.
Like, he's done multiple Broadway shows where he's worked with kids. He did Chitty Chitty Bang Bang, where he worked with like, I'm gonna say like 10 plus kids.
There's a lot of
Two
kids.
special, two like exceptionally close, and he played their dad, and it was literally like a fever sweet dream. Um, and then he did one before he went on SBU with like a kid who's like Noah's age now, like Noah or Ryan's age now, so like 8 to 12.
Mm-hmm.
So it's knowing that and then looking back and being like how acting because he didn't know how to hold a kid.
Yes, they're like, okay, hold
There's
this
also like
baby
a
like he's a bomb.
behind. Yes, exactly. There's also a behind the scenes photo of I think the actress who plays Carmen
Oh yes,
had
yes, and her baby.
a kid,
Yeah.
and he was holding the baby, and it's precious. So yeah, he knows how to interact with kids. Verbo, not really.
You know.
But I think it's because he like never really saw a baby before. He didn't know what to do. I feel like anybody's first time holding a baby is awkward.
Mm-hmm.
Not as awkward as that.
Yeah, of course Liv was just like, can you hold him please? He's just like, sure.
No warning, just take the kiss.
I know.
And then when she's like he's handing him back to her, he's like, take him. And you know.
Yeah, I love it. That's all it that's the beginning scene.
Yes. But then we find out like later that, he's great with the kid. Yeah. Now that he's older.
Uncle Rafa.
Yeah. Alright. Yeah. He's Uncle Rafa.
He is. Please. We're waiting for that. Maybe it'll be more than Uncle Rafa one day, but just saying.
I just need another scene with him and Ryan again.
Please.
Because we haven't had one in so long.
Exactly. Please.
Roland and Ryan need to have another scene together.
Yeah. Yes, please. Next season, Canon Barson, so we can have family interaction. Please. Begging you.
Like the kid dances now.
Yes, he would appreciate
it. Go to a recital. He would love it.
He would. We can address this all in there. We get to toxic masculinity.
They've canonically said on the episode, I think it's videos, lies, and like dance tapes or dance stars.
Whatever.
They canonically said that like Barba supports the arts and ballet.
Yeah.
Guess who's taking ballet and dance classes? His nephew.
Yes. Please, we need it so bad. What can we give you?
Yes, we do.
What can we give you in exchange? We can give you NBC. What do we need to give you to make this happen? Please.
We will give you scripts. We will give you money. We will give you.
We can afford. We can give you whatever. We can write it for you. We can endorse.
We'll write it for you. We already have.
We'll slide it in the door. To do it. We did make this joke. We would just slide our fic under Warren's door every page by page. Oh, like 1,000 and something. Like one. It's like truth is very long. It's like currently it's over. Like it's one. The last time I checked, it was like 1,000. So I saved it as a PDF, so it's like from AO3. So it was like 1,200 something pages. So it's gonna be
on chapter 26. We're on chapter 26, and we're still writing 26.
Yeah. We got sidetracked. That's why it's not done. But soon. Maybe.
Yeah. Okay. So, do we want to talk about like the good things about Barson?
Yeah. Kind of like this. Why we ship Barson is the next kind of thing on our list, or like what like makes this such a good ship. We kind of talked about this some, but I think some of these are
headcanons. Yeah. Some of these are like canon.
Yeah. Yeah.
So this one is a headcanon. We believe both of them. Yes, both of them. Headcanon. Yes. I'm going to specifically say headcanon. That they're both bisexual.
Yes, I agree with this headcanon.
I originally only started with Barba as bisexual, mainly because we're like 99% sure Roll is bisexual as well. He's never it's never really like the label isn't clear, but he's been with both men and women. So I think a lot of the fandom either believes he's either gay or bi, at least in the Barson context, bi. Not many people really think he's straight. I did once upon a time, and then I realized how crazy that was. So yeah, we headcanon and fully believe that Raphael Barber is bisexual. Olivia, I did not really notice until recently when I was like watching Ghost again and seeing her react to like talk with Alex, and I'm like,
yeah. You're like,
yeah, I
I
see
got
it.
some girl.
There's even an entire episode in 1.0 where she asks,
do I give gay vibes?
Yeah, do I give gay vibes? And there's been two cut kisses
yes,
that Olivia's had. One with Kathy Griffin in the episode where she's like, "Do I give off gay vibes?"
Yep.
And one with Stephanie March, who plays Alex Cabot in Some Cost Fallacy when she came back. So yeah, the evidence is there.
Yep.
Terryn is like teaching me about it, and I'm slowly like understanding it, and I'm starting to see it.
Yes, there's apparently another
started
episode.
Out with Barba first.
There's another episode too where somebody
one.
No, with saying Olivia's body. There's another one where I think it was a woman was talking about they were interrogating her, and she like, "Don't you enjoy the pleasure of women too?" or something like that. We didn't say anything, but she kind of made like a strange face, and you're like, "Oh, do you?"
I mean, and she has gone undercover with Amanda, as you know.
Yes, that they have done it as wives.
A couple.
Yes.
So, yeah, I'm believing it.
Yeah. Also, the fact that Surrender Benson is on, and that's kind of awkward. The fact that Surrender Benson is what's on TV as they're recording this episode.
Great.
Okay. Great.
So next is the interracial.
Yes.
So, Olivia is. We don't fully know her nationality, but we know that she's white. Barba, we know he's Cuban. And this is like a really, really big thing for Raul, because there have been times in the past where like people like kind of like disregarded his nationality because his skin color for the most part is white. But he is Cuban, so is Barba. End of story. So yeah, if he speaks Spanish too, so if he would be with like Olivia, it would be an interracial couple.
Yeah,
or
definitely.
At least or at least a diverse couple. Because I'm not sure if it's like race, it's like ethnicity.
Yeah, that might be the word. I couldn't think of the word when I was writing the notes, but
yeah. Okay.
And that matters.
Not it. Interethnicity.
Yeah. And it means a lot to a lot of people. I don't know if people think about this as not, but like not having shows that are just,
white woman, white man.
Yeah. It doesn't really show the truth.
It would be a big diversity thing if we had a Cuban man dating like a white woman.
Yeah. Because representation really matters. Both.
It does.
Both in sexuality.
Can we talk about how the fact that can we sidetrack just for a moment? Can we talk about the fact that organized crime has better representation than organized crime has better representation right now than SVU?
True. That is very true.
There's on organized crime, there is for what we know, with the information we know, a canonically LGBTQ plus black couple.
Yes, it is. And that's very important because
SVU has
nobody's.
Yeah. Keep going. This is
saying was
nobody.
Like, it's a really big ordeal also because a lot of the time for African Americans particularly, because I am one, so I can say this, but it's stigmatized to be LGBTQ plus. The microphone fell. but it's often stigmatized that there's something wrong with you or you need to pray it away or whatever, blah blah blah. So like having also them being a couple who does they have some sort of I guess they wanted Jack baptized, so we're gonna kind of say Christian. We can say that, I guess.
So yeah,
So to be a
I was
religious
gonna say that too.
couple
So they're like
who is queer,
LGBTQ plus and religious.
yes. So that is a big deal to be represented and represented in a good way.
And it's not that they haven't had a like black LGBTQ person on the show before, because Finn's son is gay.
Yeah.
And he's dating he's
married.
married.
He's married to him.
Married
Do they have a grant?
to a Hispanic man, and they have a baby from a surrogate.
Yeah.
But this is like the first like female LGBTQ plus couple in the Law and Order universe. No, sorry, let me rephrase that. First black female LGBTQ plus couple in the Law and Order universe, because the first female LGBTQ plus couple in the Law and Order universe, I believe, was Kat and Celine.
Yes.
It wasn't on for a long time, but it was there, so it counted.
It was there, man.
Okay.
I wish we could have had more of them.
We should have. Back to my original point. SVU, I love Releasey right now. I do. But right now, SVU is the only couple that they have right now is Releasey, and as far as we know, both of them are white and straight. Organized crime has more diversity than them, which is another reason why Barson should become canon, because SVU says a lot that they're like very big on representation, but then where is it?
Yeah, that's something that they got called out on a lot, is that, like they take on a lot of cases that, talk about representation and stuff. Yeah. Your actual characters are not. So definitely it's something that is important, that it should be talked about and addressed.
So we believe that Barson should be somewhat canonically, it should be made canonically a ship, but also, because of the representation matter.
Yeah. And also something I put on the list that isn't like, it kind of makes a big deal, but because it kind of fits into the toxic masculinity kind of thing, that they're very similar heights.
Yes. Although I believe Mariska's taller.
Yeah, about like an inch.
She's also older.
Yeah.
That's another thing.
Yeah.
We don't know the characters' ages.
Yeah.
But Mariska,
I think they did say how old Olivia was. I think if you
born in like
I think she's 2 years younger than what Mariska's age is.
Okay, so Mariska's,
I forgot. I don't remember. Anyway, late 50s.
56, I think, which means Olivia would be like 54.
Yeah, something like that. And we have no idea how old anyone else is.
By that means still that Barba would be younger than her, which is another thing, because Roll is 50 and Mariska's 56.
Yeah, something like that. We might be incorrect about that. Please forgive us. Sorry.
I can't do math that fast.
Me neither.
This is what I'm going with. So yeah, it would be another thing. They would be similar heights, and the woman would be the older one in the couple.
Yeah, that we know of anyway.
That we know.
No one knows. Yeah.
No, we don't. We only know Olivia's age.
Yeah, because we were told that, and there's an episode, an old episode in 1.0, where some kind of way their information got, like Olivia and Elliot's information got leaked. So they're like full names. That's how we know their full names and their birthdays. However, they changed Olivia's birthday when they mentioned it again. Because in that episode, it's December something. Yeah, it's December something in that episode. Then if you count up the days correctly, it's February 7th when in the recent episode.
Yeah. So we're going with February 7th.
Yes, we're going with February 7th. Yes.
Do we want to get to the toxic masculinity?
Yeah. Well, yeah, we kind of talked about a lot about how they help each other grow and change. But we'll come back to that. Let's talk about the toxic masculinity for a second.
So probably one of the biggest reasons we ship them is because it doesn't focus on toxic masculinity.
Yes.
Both of them are equal to each other. Both of them are supportive of each other. I mean, Barbara's a feminist icon. There isn't going to be toxic masculinity anywhere. So big things about toxic masculinity are that the man is dominant, controlling, possessive, violent, wants like the woman to act a certain way, or thinks the woman should act a certain way. Raphael does not do that.
Not at all in the slightest.
He it's probably why his closing argument and flight risk threw me off for the first time I saw it. Because like the first line was like, ma'am, where, like one of the lines he started off was like, ma'am, where'd you get that dress? The Salvation Army. I'm like, what is he? I was like, what is he doing? And then he turns it around and turns it into this like big thing of like, if your like dignity is taken and if you don't think that's important, ask her or her or her. And he gets the indictment.
Yeah. Gets the whole company.
Yeah. He's not controlling of Liv. He like will let her do what she wants or needs to do. He's not possessive of her. We won't say that we have mentioned that he's jealous, but the jealousy is like one and done.
Yeah, he's not a overly jealous person.
Yeah.
I feel the like way he's Oh, okay. The way he is jealous comes from a healthy place of, I wish you had trusted me. I mean, to tell me whatever. We're friends.
Exactly.
Yeah, he's not jealous and like he wants it for himself, but he's more jealous because they have this friendship and she did not tell him something.
Yeah, there we go.
That's where it comes from.
The violence. Don't get me wrong. There have been times where I'm like, please, I would love to see Rolo punch somebody on screen.
Yes.
But Barbara does not have a violent bone in his body. He's even specifically like said it when he was younger. That when he was running with like the Three Musketeers, that he was the brains and Alex Munoz was like the brawn.
No, he said he had the mouth, actually, is what he says.
Yeah, okay.
He had the brain.
He has the mouth and the brain, and and then Alex would be the one
to beat both people.
Yeah. And he's also made it clear he doesn't like violence, because when he talks about his dad, he's like, my hand still curls into a fist every time I think of him. He hates violent men, because the episode where the domestic violence situation with the football player.
Oh, yes.
He is, I can't remember what the name is.
I love that. That episode's one of my favorites.
It's such a good episode. He's basically, like, at the end, he's...
Hold
on. He's, like, basically, like, he's getting, in his, I think it's closing argument, he's getting so angry about the fact that this man has punched this woman unconscious.
It's 16-8 spousal privilege.
This man has, like, punched his wife unconscious and thinks, like, nothing of it. He was angry in that episode.
I think I have the lines from that somewhere, but I may have saved that.
Just another reason why this his upcoming case is going to be a very good one for him.
Yeah, we're
wondering what domestic violence.
Yeah, definitely. I'm wondering what that's gonna be. We need to. When the promo comes out, which will be 3 weeks from now. 3 weeks from now, at least, because there'll be no show.
Yeah, because they're like filming currently.
Yeah, they are filming currently. We need some more pictures. So,
do you have any other toxic masculinity traits before we get into, like, who actually has them?
I don't think so. That I can think of. I think
Doing
also, I think maybe I said this already, but he has a healthy way of protecting her, which is kind of leads into what we're going to talk about
oh,
in a second.
yep.
He literally said he was protecting her in 23-9. We talked about this in the last episode. However, he was honest with her about it. He was like, I am protecting you from what? Man, we'll question it there. But he knows his boundaries in which if she says no, I mean, there's nothing much more he could do in that situation. And that he often puts her first. He puts her first in a way that like makes sure that she is okay and will be okay. Because sometimes Olivia doesn't always think things through as much as she should. And then it's like,
No.
Yeah. So let's also we talked about like 23-9 is like such out of character for her. But we talked about that last episode, so I'm gonna go do that again. But it's so out of character for her to like make the assumption that like he wasn't being necessarily not honest, but she didn't trust him enough to be like okay, I trust you with you saying saying that I am protecting you.
Definitely.
Mm-hmm.
Do we want to bring him up?
I think we kind of
And by
have
him,
to.
I mean you know who I'm talking
Yeah,
about.
I feel like I have to. I mean, if I'm gonna get canceled,
guys,
I'm gonna go all out. Sorry. We're already canceled.
Okay, so the biggest reason why probably one of the biggest reasons why we ship Barson and not, you know,
my body made the
EO.
noise for some reason. Yeah, we don't.
There, I said it.
We told a funny story about
is
that
the
in the
toxic
group chat yesterday.
masculinity aspect.
Yeah.
That's probably the biggest reason. Because all of the bad traits I mentioned before, dominating, controlling, possessive, violent, wanting women to think certain ways, or like not understanding the things women go through.
Mm-hmm.
Being insensitive. Occasionally racist.
Yep.
All correspond to Elliot Stabler.
Yeah.
And yeah,
we called
I'm bringing up the race card.
It's because it's true. Yikes. We have to be honest here. Yeah, if we get canceled, oh well.
Terryn, I'll let you speak on this for a moment because you probably have more to say about that than I do. But I bring up the race thing for a big reason. Because it has been canonically pointed out that he does not fully understand.
Yeah, he doesn't take a lot of time to consider what he says, and it's rather insensitive at times, both to people of different races and sexualities and genders.
The first episode he ever had with Ayana, he said Ayana's mentioned like she knew about his past and like his violent past, and he says, "You're profiling me," and she looks him dead in the eye and says, "You know nothing about being profiled." All right, your turn.
Yeah, him saying that is very because I mean we have to be very honest to clear the fact that like he is a straight white man who is a cop. That like he's not going to experience what both women and people of color go through on a daily basis. So for him to use the word profiling is not a word he should have used. And also the fact
his black lesbian sergeant.
Yes, who you definitely shouldn't have used that choice of words. But also the fact that it's not profiling of what he's done is real. Like it's not like they made up him. Like what happened. His record is real. It's not like anyone added anything to his stories or anything. But like it was the wrong choice of words for what he's profiling.
There's another scene that I found like a few weeks ago in The Outlaw Eddie Wagner, where he's talking to Ayana, and he looks at her and he says, "Tell your wife I like my coffee black," or something like that.
Yeah, it's kind of a weird.
And I'm looking at. He says it the way he says it is like, "Dude, she's black. Why on earth are you saying that to her?"
Yeah, I don't think he was an ill-intentioned one, but it comes across real weird.
It comes out that weird.
It's like, I don't like that one. Yeah.
Okay. Possessive.
Very. Literally the whole 12
Olivia,
seasons.
every time Olivia tried to talk about like the fact that she was going on a date or whatever, Elliot would like, want to know what was going on.
Mm-hmm.
She like couldn't date because she even specifically told him the longest relationship I've ever had with a man is you. And he was married.
Yeah.
She couldn't like do anything outside of with him.
Yeah, definitely. That's something that it's a big red flag about that. Like Olivia she didn't have relationships. She didn't really have friends in one point besides like the
No.
people she was with at work. And she occasionally went on dates or whatever, but like she really didn't have a connection with anybody but Elliot. And then like in an unhealthy way, she defends him often. And it becomes a very unhealthy dynamic in which he was barely dead clearly in the wrong. She's always trying to defend him from that, and it's not good. You know?
Yep. Trying to think of what the next word I had was. Violence.
Mm-hmm. Oh, that's very obvious, clear.
Self-explanatory.
You don't need to explain that one. Literally every episode of Organized Crime, something violent is happening. Most of SVU, okay, most of the time, but not all the time.
Mainly because of him.
Yes, he's causing the violence or upset someone to cause violence back to him. Either way, there is violence. Literally, he almost died 3 times in the last episode for being stupid.
Yeah. Like he's like causing violence or having violence perpetrated around him.
So much violence.
He's shot people. He's gotten so many like IED investigations because of his candor.
Yeah.
For like violence in the working.
Yeah. And how he's not changed.
It came up during it came up during the Wheatley trial too, like twice.
Mm-hmm.
Because it said that he broke Isaac Becker's shoulders, dislocated Isaac Becker's shoulders, and like messed with his face.
Yeah, into a fence. Yeah, violent from off the get go. Yeah, and I think.
And then the clip from the precinct that Barbara had to pause because we were talking about the whole thing. It would have been Hook, Dunn, Singer.
Yeah, we talked about this last episode a bit, but I think we're gonna bring it up again because it's very important that this is pointed out because no one would ever know this unless somebody pointed it out. No, I didn't know about this, notice this until someone pointed it out on Tumblr or something.
And I didn't think he would ever do this until you sent it to me.
Yeah. So basically, and there is it's when Olivia's on the stand. We knocked the mic over again. Olivia's on the stand, and Raphael plays the tape from Return of the Prodigal Son, where it's in the interrogation room. Well, she and Ellie are in the interrogation room with the suspect. It doesn't matter his name. I don't really care. And then like he says something that makes Elliot mad, and then like Elliot he gets mad a little bit mad before this, and then he gets up and then like he almost wants to like beat down the suspect. Olivia gets in the way. She like stands in between them, and then he like grabs her shoulders and shakes her. And it's not like people. We're not gonna talk about how people make this weird. We're not talking about that here, but how like
we're not doing that today.
No, not today, not today. But like, if you have to like intentionally look at this scene, watch it carefully. Like the way he's gripped her shoulders is very intense. It's not like he gently grabbed her; like he shook her hard.
It looked like if he was so angry in that moment, like he probably could have thrown her to the ground.
Yeah.
It was that kind of momentum.
Yeah, it was, but he gets pretty close, but then she like says something that stops him or something.
So the big thing, at least for me, is like I never thought Elliot Stabler would be violent with a woman. Mm-hmm. And then they show us that.
Yeah, and then like the fact that it's her too, of all people
out of all the people, it's Olivia. I don't care if you're angry at whatever the guy said. And I know people are gonna be like, Olivia got in front of him. Oh, okay, yeah. If
He
he
should
got
never have put his
in
hands on
front of
her.
you, you can stop. He could have stopped right there.
He should
Or
have
if you
never put
wanted
his
to
hands on her.
get to the guy so bad, walk around her.
Yeah, he should have
never should have
never.
put her hands on her.
Never.
Ever.
Yeah, there's no exception to it. It is not sexy. I'm going to say, I'm calling it out. It's not sexy. Stop saying that.
It's not, people.
Stop. Yeah, humanity is doomed sometimes. But yeah, it's not sexy. But that scene.
If anyone wants to talk about like also not putting your hands on her, the letter scene, y'all.
Okay, did we talk about that? We'll talk about that now. Actually,
He
does. It's real weird. It's kind of.
He shows up to her house like drugged because the Albanian mob drugged him.
Yep.
And it's like, I don't know, 2 a.m. or whatever.
Very late.
He goes
Too
to
late
her
for you to be
house.
coming over.
Yeah. Talks to her about this random letter that he didn't even write except for the last line where it says, no, parallel universal with the you and I, yada, yada, yada. He stands up, he stumbles, and when he stumbles, he grabs like her waist, and the way her face changes in an instant to one of like shock and uncomfort. And then he starts to like move up her body.
Yeah.
His hand brushes against her shoulder, brushes against her face. He touches the corner of her lip. They made it in the way like they did the scene. It made it look like he could have very well kissed her.
Yeah.
If he didn't pass out.
Yeah, it's very. We looked into this scene, like how like we talked about this in the fic and how borderline this is kind of elite. It's kind of against the law. It kind of falls into
bad.
the sexual assault, sexual harassment. If you technically
really does.
Like when I joke around, like we should be lawyers. It's because we research laws to make sure we're not like making it up. But like, you get into the kind of awful territory.
Drugged or not drugged, he touched her without her consent.
Yeah.
In places where she is not comfortable with, like any guy touching her.
Yeah,
it's been made very clear. And people are probably going to be like, "Yo, he wasn't coherent enough." He was coherent enough to get to her apartment.
To remember that letter.
Have a conversation with her.
Tell her not to follow the protocol. They were talking about the protocol, and he was like, "No, you don't have to do that." And she was like, "We have to talk. Call the hospital. Call your boss." He was like, "You don't have to do that." And she was like, "I think you do."
To remember that he, like, yeah,
it's a whole letter.
If he was coherent enough, he wouldn't have held on to her like for so long.
Yeah, it's real weird. I don't like that scene. It makes me want to vomit. I hate it with a passion. I don't care what anybody else says.
The only good thing about that letter was that, and thank you, Kathy Stabler, saying that Olivia deserved a kind, faithful, and devoted man.
Yep.
Yeah, I know what. I know.
We know one. Just saying, we know one.
So yeah. The other thing about Elliot, like, he's insensitive
to literally everything.
Like the first thing he personal questions he asked her was about her dating life. Like,
well, he asked Finn first, actually. Season 23 premiere.
He's talking about Olivia, and he's like, Finn is telling her she was in a relationship, doing well, had a son, and Elliot's response is, "Who's the guy?" Not even going to talk about the fact that Finn shouldn't even have been telling him this stuff.
Yeah.
It's not Finn's stuff to talk about. Especially when, like,
that's pretty out of character, too. That's kind of out of character for Finn, and they should have wrote that, but whatever.
But, like, Elliot Stabler's like, who's the guy? And he crosses his arm and he looks like shrug about it.
Yeah.
And then asks her about her dating life later.
In the weirdest time possible.
Great.
It's in the Christmas episode. In the weirdest time possible.
Yeah. And 6 weeks after his wife died, he decides to tell her that he loves her.
In front of his children.
In front of his kids. That all just lost their mother.
Yep. Real awkward.
Grief or no grief, like, man. And, deciding to kiss 2 women after your wife has died.
Yep.
Including one who killed your wife.
Yep.
Like,
just saying.
And I'll bring up the example that I brought to Terryn's attention today while I was reading or watching 1.0. And I titled it today in Elliot Stabler's Insensitive Moment. I don't remember the episode title, but it was the episode where the sperm in the sperm bank got stolen.
Yeah.
And they're talking about, the squad is talking about, like how couples sometimes have to freeze their embryos to have babies. And Elliot's like not understanding it. And Olivia said, "Do you understand what it can take to do this with your embryos?" Elliot says, "No, I had my kids the old-fashioned way." And Olivia says, "Well, not everyone is as blessed as you."
It's editing Terryn here again. Sorry this episode kind of ends abruptly again. We realized how long it was when we were finished recording the other day, and it's quite long already. So, the ending of this episode will be what it is. However, we will be doing All Things Barson and Why You Should Ship Them Part 3. So look forward to that, and we can't wait to see you guys in the next episode. Bye.